Hello, in this video I'm gonna show you the first setup of Motorola Edge 50 Ultra. I'm gonna try to help you complete the first configuration. So before we actually turn on our device, first we're gonna open the SIM tray in order to use our SIM card. So if you have your own SIM card, then before you turn on your device, it is a good moment to insert the SIM card. So at the bottom of this device you will find the SIM tray over here on the left side, and here you have this hole, and you need to put this pin that can be also found inside the box. Put the pin inside the hole over here, and then once it is in, just push it slightly until this SIM tray is out a little bit. Then use your fingers in order to take it out completely. Now over here, of course, we have the SIM card slot, and we need to match this symbol that is illustrated on the slot. So put the SIM card inside this slot, make sure that it is fully in. You might hear some clicks when you do that, and once it is fully in, just to make sure that it doesn't drop, then you can put it back in, and there we go. Now that we have our SIM card inserted, then we can press and hold this power button on the right side. Press and hold it until you see the Hello Moto image. There we go. And now let's wait a couple of seconds to turn on the device. And there we go, this is the first thing that we can see. We have the Hello Moto text with the languages. So if you need to change the language, you can select the current language, and then you have the list of all available languages. And you can also go to vision settings if needed. However, most of the time you don't need this at all, so we can just press start in order to start configuring the device. Immediately we can set up this device by using our old one. So if you have your old device, your old smartphone, then you can copy settings, accounts, and anything else from your old phone or tablet and put it into the this device over here. So you have the choice to choose Android device if your old device is an Android. You can also choose iPhone or iPad, or you can skip this process. Now in my case, I don't have my old device next to me, so I'm just gonna skip this process, and we will set up completely right from the beginning. Then we have the option to connect to Wi-Fi. So if you are at home and you have your Wi-Fi, then over here you should be able to choose your network, and then you can enter the password. If not, if you don't have Wi-Fi, then you can just use setup offline over here. In my case, I'm gonna use the Wi-Fi that I have over here. So now here we need to enter the password. And there you go. Now once we enter the password and press connect, we will see something like this. So we will move to privacy and security. Over here we can select what we want to do. So if you don't want to share usage data, then of course you can tap on this slider first over here on the right side. And you also have the battery usage optimization, which can be also enabled and disabled over here. We have smart updates and so on and so forth. So you can read all of that and adjust these settings, but we're gonna press accept and continue. And now let's wait a couple of more seconds until we see the next screen and the next options. There we go. Now we have check-in info. One more time. And eventually we should be able to see something else. There we go. So now we can use our Google account in order to sign in. And if you don't have your Google account yet for some reason, then you can just press create account over here in order to set up your account. You can also skip this process by pressing skip over here. And if you do have your Google account, then you can enter your email or phone number over here, and then you can press next button. And of course, if you enter the email or phone number, then you will need to enter your password, so do that and then press next. Once you enter the password, you might see some additional information or question whether you want to add your phone number or something. You don't really have to do that. So if you scroll all the way down, you have your options. You have yes, I'm in. If you want to add your phone number, you can just skip this process by pressing skip, or you can press more options in order to choose something else. I'm gonna go back and actually skip this process. This is not important right now. Then over here we have the welcome message where we can agree to we can agree to terms of service by Google. And of course, if you choose don't add this account now, then you will disagree to those terms of use and you will not log in. I'm gonna press I agree in order to use my Google account. And there we go. Now we have loading info of our account. So let's wait a couple of more seconds. And now we can set a pin code for our lock screen of this device. And if you want to actually use the pin code, 4 digits code made of numbers, then you can do that by simply entering the pin code and then pressing next. However, you can also go to screen lock security options in order to choose a different method. So you can also draw the pattern, well, go back to the pin, and you can also set up a password, which is just a combination, of course, of letters and numbers and so on and so forth. So in my case, I'm gonna stick with the pin code. I'm gonna use a simple one. And of course, if you don't want to use the lock screen, then you also have this skip button in the bottom left corner. So once you enter the pin code, press enter. Then you will need to confirm by pressing the same code one more time, or by drawing the same pattern, or of course entering the same password. Then we have the option to enable the fingerprint. So over here you can set up the fingerprint sensor by scanning your finger. Now I'm not gonna do that right now. You can also do that later in the settings, as pretty much everything else. So in this case I'm gonna skip this process. And we also have the same thing, but with face recognition. So the same thing, I'm just gonna press no thanks. I don't want to do that right now. Over here once again we can copy apps and data and transfer your photos, contacts and more. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do a fresh install of the Android, so I'm not gonna use that. Then we have Google services, where we can back up our device or not, depending if you want it or not. So you can press on the slider, scroll down to find more, like location. So if you want to use location, then you can press over here. Of course, if you disable it, later on you can still enable it. Allow scanning, send usage and diagnostic data, and that's pretty much it. So we're gonna press accept. If you scroll all the way down, then you have the accept button, and then we can choose our browser and search engine. So let's press next. Then we have to choose our default browser. I'm gonna choose Google Chrome. This is probably the most popular one. And of course we can scroll down to see more. We actually have to scroll down in order to select set as default. And then we have the search engine. I'm just gonna choose Google, scroll down and choose set as default. And there we go. Now we can continue the setup in order to fully configure the Google services. If you want to, you can do that. If not, then you can just leave and get reminders. So later on, you will be reminded to do that one more time. I'm gonna actually continue in order to show you how it looks like. So if you later on decide to come back to this to these settings, then you'll be offered to enable the Hey Google voice activation of the Google Assistant. So if you want to, you can set it up right now by pressing I agree. If not, then you can just skip. And over here we have access your assistant without unlocking your device. So if you want to allow to use the Google Assistant when the device is locked, and then you can press I agree. I'm gonna skip, I don't want that. And now let's wait a couple of more seconds. Then we have Google Pay, where you can add your credit card or debit card in order to pay with your device. I'm gonna skip this process right now as well. And then we have some additional apps that will be downloaded if you are connected to Wi-Fi. So some of them are actually pretty convenient, like the Google Wallet that helps you set up your virtual wallet with your debit card or credit card. However, those are not really important, and there is nothing you can do to stop them from downloading. So eventually you will have to uninstall them if you don't need them. So if you go next, then you will have to wait a couple of more seconds. There we go. Now we have information about news made by Motorola. So if you want to see notifications made by Motorola, then of course you can allow them. I'm not gonna do that, so I'm gonna press not now, and then one more time not now. Then we have the email, where we can enter the email in order to get the newsletters. Of course I'm not gonna select that, so I'm gonna press not now once again and then one more time. Then we have the navigation style, where you can choose to use buttons at the bottom of the screen or gestures. So depending which one you prefer, select the desired option and then go next. Then we can also choose the theme. We have light, dark and transition, which means that it changes automatically. It switches between the light and dark depending on time of the day. I'm gonna stick with the light for now. And there we go. We have completed the first configuration completely. So if you press finish, then over here we have some suggestions what we can do next. So we have some tips, we have personalization where you can change the wallpapers, themes, fonts and colors, and we have also some apps, but I'm just gonna go to my home screen. So over here you can tap go to my home screen in order to skip all of this and finally see the home screen of your device. So now we have to wait just a couple of more seconds. Of course, we are still offered some bloatware. I'm just gonna press no thanks, we don't really need that at this moment. But there we go, now we have our home screen. Over here we have pending apps which are being downloaded at this moment, and we can open the app drawer. Some apps are still downloading, so you might need to wait a couple of more minutes until everything is done. And if you swipe from the top to the middle like so to open notifications, you might one more time see finish setting up your Motorola Edge 50 Ultra. So this will be probably the same thing as before. No, actually not. We can see the phone is ready. So one more time we can see everything and that we just saw. I'm just gonna press no thanks in order to not get reminded by these notifications. Now we should not see it anymore, or you can just swipe it to the right in order to remove it and get done. And that's pretty much it. Now you can start downloading everything that you need and start using your device. Thanks for watching, leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and see you in my next videos. Bye!